Okay. Hey, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Michelle Stuchel, and I'm a Sapphire, and it is a huge honor to be able to speak to you guys today and to train. And I get to talk about the art of vision. Huge topic. I mean, you can literally, there are books written about vision. It is such an important part of what we do. And I think we just had an amazing vision of what authentic, genuine, humble leadership looks like. And I sat there and I thought, oh my gosh, these women, the humility, the authenticity, the character, for them to basically unzip and just show, here I am, we're growing, we're in process, this is how you do it. Heroes to me, heroes to me. Christina, you're an absolute hero to me. So, and Brittany, of course, you're a hero to me. None. That's right. Right. So anyway, I hope that you guys will really see that. I mean, that's vision, right? Because what is vision? Vision is what you see. And Helen Keller said this. Helen Keller said, there's nothing more tragic than seeing but not having vision. And so many people are living in just that. They're living in apathy, they're living in complacency, they're living in survival, they're living in passive aggressive land, they're living in all these things and they have no vision for what could and should be. Okay, this is my second Ruby retreat in this amazing place. I loved it. We were here in April of 2021. So when I was getting ready for this trip, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going back to the same cabin. I knew what this vista looked like. And I'm like, we're going to be here in the fall. I could see it in my mind's eye. The mountains are my happy place. I love it. And what fuels me is great conversation. I'm telling you, as soon as I left home, my trip started. I got to Brittany's house and we said hi and then just dove right in. Jana, Brittany and I, we knew we were traveling 6.5 hours together. We talked the entire time and I knew that was going to feed my soul. I envisioned the tables, I envisioned the meals, the training. I could see it. I knew it was going to be a little chilly, so I packed a lot of sweaters. It looks like I have enough for a week, and I probably do, but I planned for my trip, right? I remembered last year about the karaoke. I knew we were going to laugh. I knew I would make a fool of myself. I knew I would get an education. For those of you that were here last year, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, we drove and we stopped for lunch. Lunch took a little bit longer than we expected it to, but we had a great time. But we knew where we were going. We knew we wanted to get here. We stopped at Cracker Barrel, and I love the gift shop at Cracker Barrel. I don't know who their buyers are, but they've got some very smart people because they've got a lot of great things there. But we all knew where we wanted to go. So we got back in the car and we had to stop for gas. And with the first gas station we stopped at, I mean, bless it. I mean, it was looked like it was from the 1950s, and I would have been surprised. Like it was modern for Andy Griffith. I mean, and we pull up, and the guy comes out, and he's like, "No, we don't have any. But if you go 3 miles down the street, turn right, you'll get to a gas station." So, you know, we had a little bit of a detour. Okay, so we get back in the car, and we go to the next gas station. Okay, and then there's this big, like one of those big Ford vans, you know what they're called, Sprinters or whatever, and there are these, God bless America, these precious little old people, and they're sitting where the van is, right there where the gas pumps are, and we're like, we got somewhere to go. Can you please move your van? Can you please move your van? And the red came out in me after like 5 full minutes of waiting. So I went up to them and said, we need to get gas, would you mind? Oh, sure, honey, we'll move. So we got gas. It took a little bit longer than we'd expected it to. We finally got here. And, you know, driving up the road, there were lots of twists and turns, right? Lots of twists and turns. It wasn't a straight shot to get up here, was it? And at one point we missed the turn. And so Jana has a fabulous car. It's an Expedition, but that's not a little car. So we had to kind of make a U-turn at this one place. And I mean, do you remember the road to get up here? It's not a very easy road to turn on, but she did it. And at one point, Brittany's getting really nervous. And she's like, Jana, why don't you go back this way? And she's getting nervous, and Jana's laughing at her. She's like, I got this. This car is safe. And I'm just in the back, half laughing, half wondering what the heck is going to happen. But we ended up getting here, right? The journey doesn't always look like you think it's going to look. And there are detours and stops along the way. But as long as you know where you're going and you have grit, you're willing to work, you're willing to learn, you're willing to never get up, you can get there if you know where you're going. She had her GPS on and we had it. It showed us where to go. But if we turned that off, we wouldn't have a clue where to go or what to do. We had the destination plugged in. We had the vision for where we were going. So here we are. So what's vision? It's the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. And it's not flaky. It's not intangible. It's not nebulous. Vision is tangible and it can be specific. And let me tell you this, there's always two creations. The first creation happens in your mind's eye. It happens in your imagination. It happens between your two ears. Sometimes it happens in your spirit or in your heart, but it happens first inside. And then it happens on the outside. 2 years ago, or whenever it was, the Diamonds and Pink Power decided to do our own Ruby retreat. It was an idea. It happened inside, and they had the vision, and then they made it happen. And the clearer they got on the vision, the more the specifics came, the more they were able to plan and make it happen. Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits for Highly Effective People, he said this: all things are created twice. First the mental creation, then the physical creation. And vision, what we're talking about, pertains to this mental creation. We have to see it before we can create it. Vision is the bridge between the present and the future reality. It's connecting the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Okay, now we talk all the time about casting vision, casting vision. Even today, we've heard that term so many times. To develop leaders, you need to cast vision. To lead yourself, you need to have vision. To unlock people's potential, you have to see it in them. So what the heck does that mean? It's telling people what could be and should be for them. If they put in the work, if they took the actions, if they had grit, if they were willing to take action and grow, what could their life look like? What could they achieve? What could their legacy be? Who could they become? And then you tell them, what does it look like? And then there's short term and there's long term, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so why cast vision? Why? Because people settle, and each person has inside of them this hunger and desire for more. Now, sometimes because of life and disappointment and all these things, sometimes it's asleep, dead. Sometimes it's in hibernation. Sometimes, whatever the reason, but people settle. They have no clue what's available to them. We had a sip and see at my house last Saturday, and one of my new level ones came and she made the comment. She was talking to Brittany, and I heard her say, she's like, I just have this hunger for more, but nobody around me wants more. I'm not around people like this. Everybody's just happy with what they have. there's no drive, right? So people settle without vision. They can get distracted. There's a lack of focus. People can get busy, but they're never growing. Look, if we didn't have a vision, I would have spent a lot of time and money in the Cracker Barrel gift shop. And getting here, we passed Asheville. There are a lot of great restaurants in Asheville. Did you know that? And do you know what else is in Asheville? Trader Joe's. I could have spent a lot of time in Trader Joe's because there's no Trader Joe's in Savannah. I have vision about that. But if I didn't know where I was going, I could have persuaded Janet and Brittany. Asheville's great. I know great restaurants. Brittany, you love chocolate. There is a fabulous chocolatier in there, and I will buy you to your heart's content chocolate. Let's go to Asheville. It's easy to get distracted, but because I knew where we were going, it kept us on course. But with vision, it does that, just that. It keeps you on course. It motivates people. It energizes them. And coupled with grit, it helps people to live it out. It inspires selflessness, greatness, generosity, and it can release passion in people. And it gives people a sense of control. You're not a victim. Gina, you can do something about this. God gave you this hunger for more. Do something about it. You've got control. You've got the ability to do this. It wakes people up, and it helps them realize that they can live out of passion instead of just on purpose, instead of just survival mode all the time. Okay. So we talked about the why, we talked about the what. Who the heck are you casting vision to? And listen, this is so important. It's to your prospects, it's to your dream teamers, your happy product users, and to your team. Casting vision is never a once and done. Oh, I told them that they could make $300. I cast vision to them. No, you told them how to go silver. That's not vision. Casting vision is for all of these people, and it happens over and over and over again because vision leaks. It leaks. We live in a world where there's so much noise and people are constantly being bombarded with arrows and darts. And so that hunger and that vision leaks. So we do it over and over again. Okay, so what does that look like? Actually, wait. The who, to your prospects. We do this all the time for the products, right? You can, I know so many people, I hate that you struggle with migraines. I know so many people that have been helped that don't deal with migraines anymore. That's giving them vision, right? We do that for the products constantly. So we could do the same with our prospects with what would your life look like if you were bringing in an extra $1,000 or $5,000. For some people, it's $500. For some people, it's, financial freedom. We do that for our prospects and dream teamers. We do it to our happy product users. Same thing, tell them what could be. And for our team members, I'll never forget when Brittany told me, Michelle, and this is when I was like senior silver or gold. She would say, she would tell me people to follow and look at the way they would post. And she said, Michelle, people are going to be copying your posts one day. Well, really? You cast vision for your team. You'll earn a shopping spree one day, Leah. Leah, you're going to be in Hawaii with us. Madison, you're going to be in Mexico next year. My new Fast Start Silver, if she continues to move, she will be a corporate trainer, no doubt. Casting vision for what could be in your team members all along. So it's all of these people, okay? It's not once and done. Okay, let's talk about how. How do you cast vision? It's by painting the picture with your words and communicating that to them. If you look at a picture, okay, look at any of these pictures or think about one of your favorite works of art. It has detail. I know that's a bear because there's detail there, right? You have to, and so what does this require of you? It requires intentionality and time on your part to think it through. Listen, casting vision is never about you. Remove yourself from the equation. It's all about what this can do for them. When you look at this person, what would this opportunity do for them? Who could they impact? What will their life look like if they're not going to sleep at night worried about how they're going to pay for Christmas? Or if she didn't have to pick up the second job? Or if the husband could actually leave the travel position and be at home? But that's a beautiful picture of a bear because there's a lot of detail and that takes time. So it requires you to sit down and think about each of these people. And then you communicate that with them. Think about the civil rights movement, okay? There was a lot of people that wanted equality for the races in our country. But who was one of the leaders? MLK. Why? Because he communicated, and each one of you remembers what he says. Even now, you're thinking of his words. I have a dream. And he painted that picture, and then the whole nation got behind him. Well, half the nation got behind him. But he painted that picture. Okay, he painted the picture with his words, and it takes time and intentionality. Listen, this is part of your job. If you want to be, and it can be hard for some of us like me, it can come kind of naturally, but this is just a skill to be developed. And if you want to be paid as much as a brain surgeon, be prepared to do work. I'm not going to go to a brain surgeon unless they're certified. They've been to med school, they've done residency, and they've put in the time and they've got the experience and the expertise. So just be prepared. This is a skill you have to learn, and you can, and it is such a noble skill. And it's not just going to be for your business, it's going to be for your life. For those of you that have children, think about what this could do for your children, to cast vision for who they could and should be and what God could do in and through them to affect the entire world. So think through them, get a notebook, get your Remarkable, have a file for each of your people or prospects and write down. So how do you do this? Okay, one, think of yourself as like a detective. You got to get to know them. And how are you going to do this? Go to their wall, look at their social media, figure out what's important to them. If they're posting pictures about all of their travels, guess what? They like to travel. Maybe they're posting pictures about their travel ball. They're away every weekend. Guess what? That costs a lot of money. Maybe they're posting pictures about all the outfits they like to buy. Guess what? They like to buy clothes. Maybe they're posting pictures about their kids or whatever. Look and see what clues you can find on their social media. Okay, next, you connect with them. You build rapport. You have conversation. And the goal is not to get them to do something, but the goal is to serve them. And it's just through conversation. Like this new woman, Rachel, that I've been talking to, I've been building a relationship with her for 3 years. Okay, 3 years. And back and forth on relationship, and just getting to know her. Now write this down, FORD. It's an acronym, FORD. And these are questions that I've asked her. And so that gave me insight into who she was and what her needs were, okay? There was a book, I don't remember the name. We did it a couple years ago in Bible study. It's actually written for real estate, but the whole thing was, how do you connect with people and get to know them? And it's by asking good questions. So here's a little side note. If you're talking to your prospects more than they're talking to you, that's a problem. Someone said this, Rebecca Folk said this at one point. She said, the person that talks the least wins. So that's just for free on the side. Now go back and analyze your conversations and just get people to talk. Be curious about people. Ask them questions. Okay, the FORD questions. Number one, ask them about their family. Do you have kids? Tell me about your husband. What does your husband do? Tell me about your family. Oh, occupation. Do you work outside the home? Oh, really? You're a teacher. Do you love it? How long have you been doing that? Actually, no, I hate it. I can't wait to get out. Oh, you're a nurse. What motivated you to go into nursing? Oh, You don't. Well, tell me, what do you do with your time? Just ask them questions. Be curious what their occupation is. Recreation. What do you do for fun? What do you like to do with your time? Do you have any hobbies? What do you like to do for fun? You have a free weekend. What are you going to do with your weekend? And then D, dreams. If your calendar was empty and your bank account was full, what would you love to do? What would you love? If you had all the resources in the world, what would your life look like? Tell me, what are your dreams? What would you love to do? And then you can get to know people. And then with that information, it's going to equip you to cast vision, because here's the thing. You are looking for where they are, where they want to be, not where you want them to be. That doesn't mean on stage as a diamond. That means where they want to be. Maybe it's traveling the world with their children. Maybe it's funding a home for girls rescued out of trafficking in Thailand. Maybe fill in the blank, whatever it is, where they are, where they want to be, and how Plexus can be the bridge and the vehicle for that. How Plexus can be the vehicle for that. Plexus, this opportunity is the platform for them to achieve their vision and their dream. My vision and dream is to help people be and do and have all that God has for them, to infuse people to go for more, to not settle, to go for it, to unlock their potential. Guess what? Selling supplements and raising up leaders has been the platform for my vision. Who knew? Brittany did, because she cast vision for me and she got to know me. But without her casting vision for me, this never would have happened. That's the key. It's problem solving and showing them, but this takes time and intentionality through connection. And then you look, not just where they want to be, but look at who they are. What qualities do they have that would make them great at this? And like Britt and Fallon alluded or mentioned before, that book, The 21 Indispensable Characteristics of Leadership, I believe, you can look at that list, the table of contents, and see those characteristics. And then you call them out. Hardworking, industrious, problem solver, creative, you're relational, you're fun to be with, you're influential, you take action, you're hardworking. And you call those things out in a genuine way. John Maxwell said it like this: everybody has a sign on their heads that says, encourage me. You're not just looking to blow sunshine on somebody just to blow sunshine on them. This is coming from a place of authenticity and genuine care and love and relationship, because you're seeing in them their God-given gifts and strengths and then calling that out. And then people, listen, as you do that, these are the kind of messages I've been getting back. Michelle, you are too kind. Michelle, thank you for saying that. No, I'm really not open to that right now, but thank you for saying that. Michelle, thank you. That really meant a lot to me. That was, I needed that. Listen, that's not because Michelle's so great. It's just because I'm learning and I'm doing this skill. But people get beat down all the time. And when was the last time someone really spoke life into them? Listen, the power of life and death is in the tongue. And when you're casting vision for people, you are literally speaking life and drawing it out of them, showing them what could be. So you're looking for those qualities and calling them out. This is what I see in you. Okay, so let's give some practical examples, okay? So let's talk about somebody that you're like a dream teamer or someone that you're just casting vision to about going all in. Because here's the thing, remember what Fallon said earlier? She said, you meet people where they are. And so I kind of like to say it like this. There's short-term vision and there's long-term vision, okay? Short-term vision is like this. You know, to a happy product user or to somebody that you're a new join, you know, you're talking to them, you're connecting with them, And then you say, listen, I just want to tell you what's available to you this month. When 3 people use your referral link this month, guess what? You're going to earn a pair of Nikes that you can custom design. How fun is that? You can earn up to 2 pair actually, and that's what I'm going to do. And with Christmas around the corner, I'm going to give one to each of my teenage daughters. And I'm so excited about that. Would this be a blessing to you? I just cast vision for her about what was available to her. Here's another short-term vision. You know, when someone uses a new join, when someone uses your referral link or a happy VIP who hasn't converted yet, when someone uses your referral link or 3 people in the first 30 days, you're going to earn back over $350, depending on the month and the incentive. I just cast short-term vision to them. I let them know what's available to them. And to some people, that's exactly what they need to hear. And it lets them know on the short term what's available. Okay. Now let's talk about some longer term and some bigger vision. Okay. Because I will never stop at a short term vision. If they bite, if they take that hook, and now all of a sudden we got 2 pairs of Nikes and $300, you know what they're thinking. I'm going to give them a little bit more vision. Well, you know, with just 6 more people, I guess 7 more people, you're going to be at the next rank. And because of this time period, you're going to earn another $300. I'm expanding their vision, showing them the next step. Okay, now, but here's my favorite thing. It is the long-term vision. When I'm thinking about somebody and what this opportunity can really do, because my strategy is never just to get a bunch of silvers. That just sounds like a headache to me. I want leaders that are raising up leaders that are raising up leaders. Thank you, Brittany and Fallon, for that legacy. Learning from the best. Hashtag learning from the best ever. Side note, I do tell my husband that regularly. God gave me the best diamond ever. So thinking through what would their life look like if they were earning $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. What could this do for them? Okay, so here's an example of an all-in message. Okay, you know, I've been thinking about you, and I just felt a nudge to reach out again. This is to a dream teamer of mine. You know, you are I've connected with her. You're an influencer, you love people, you have integrity, and you are so much fun to be with. I know that if you ever decided to do what I'm doing, you would be wildly successful and we would have a ball together. I remember you saying that you wanted to travel with your family more, and Plexus can absolutely help you do that. Are you open to taking a look? I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions because I can so clearly see how this can, or what this can do for you and your family. Tell me your thoughts. To another girl, you're hardworking, you have integrity, you're a person of action. Those are all qualities I see in top leaders. If you ever decided to do this, I know that you could achieve all that I have and more. Some of my best friends are exactly like you. I can't wait for you to meet. You're probably gonna have a nuclear explosion when you guys meet because you guys are so similar. What would it look like for you to bring in an extra $5,000 a month? I remember you saying you were desperate to stay home with your son. What could, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, this could help you do that. I just want you to know that I absolutely believe in you, and I had to tell you again. I'd love to know your thoughts and questions. That's vision. It's casting vision. Now listen, another way you do that is through your posting. If you're only posting about the products, you're only casting vision about what these products can do. And you are leaving out 50% of what Plexus offers, if not more, because we offer 2 things, life-changing products and a life-changing opportunity. I have a meeting with a dream teamer who's a happy product user next week. And she reached out to me because she's a level 2. She said, I saw your post last week. I want to talk to you about selling Plexus. I really want to stay home with my son. And if I could just make $3,000 a month, I can do that. I cast vision for her through a post by showing her what was possible. You do that through your social media as well. You have to keep doing it over and over and over and over again, which leads to the next step, the when. When? All the time. It's never once and done. It's a process and it never ends. It's never finished because vision leaks. And guess what? We've never arrived. There's always more. You can always learn before they join. It's what the products can do for them. What would it's all along the way. It's getting them from point A to point B. I mean, think about it. Think about some of your teammates. You still have to cast vision to them for what could be, right? Think about the people on your team that aren't here. Through your posting and through talking, you can say to them, listen, I cannot wait for you to be here next year with me. I so clearly see you here. You're gonna love it. This is your time. This is your people. And here's the thing. Your people need to know. They said this even earlier. Only 20% of this business is skill, and they can learn the skills from videos. What they need from you, 80% of this business is mindset and belief. You know what they need from you 80% of the time? An infusion of belief and vision and mindset work. They need to know that you believe in them. And every time you cast vision for them, it's like you are injecting them with hope and belief and courage. In this book, the 21 indispensable characteristics of leaders or growth or whatever, leaders, the definition of courage is courage, the one who has courage is a majority. The word, when you're casting vision, you are encouraging people. The word encouragement, it's made of the Latin root, en, which means in, and then the word courage. You're literally infusing courage in people. Because how many of you know your points will go backwards, someone will turn off their sub, your best friend says, you're crazy, I don't want to do this with you. You missed an incentive, something will happen because our journey is not straight up the mountain. There's Cracker Barrel, there's that great gift shop, there's the gas station that has no gas, there's the U-turn where you think you're gonna fall off the side of the cliff. There's Asheville with Trader Joe's. The journey is not straight and there's things to grow through. There's fears to overcome. There's hard conversations to have. There's areas, oh crap, that's inside of me. I have to grow through that. It can be tough. And some people seem to have an easier path than others, but the ones that I respect the most are the ones that had the most to overcome. And the grit and the resilience and the journey and the adversity makes you stronger. And as you give perspective to people along the way and casting vision, using feel, felt, found, you're telling your people that you believe in them, and the adversity and the setback and the trial is all normal, and they can get through it. They can overcome it because you have, or you know somebody that has. When do you cast vision? All the time, and especially in the hard times, especially for the girl that wanted to be Ruby but isn't here, especially when they don't get the Nikes and they thought they were going to, especially when their points go backward or they're stuck, actually stable, or whatever happens, fill in the blank. Especially, and then you give them perspective. You know, I know exactly how you feel. I didn't maintain that rank. I understand those feelings. And I just decided I wasn't good. I knew that there was something I had to learn. So I dug in and I grew. And I read this book and I did this and I did this. And you make it normal, because guess what? Like Fallon said, life is hard. That's normal. The journey is hard. What we do is easy and simple, but I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's hard work. But you can give them perspective and say, but look, you can do this because I believe in you. You're hardworking. You got grit. You're sharp. You're willing to take action. Quit isn't even in your vocabulary. You can absolutely do this. And what happens? You're infusing them with courage. because we always hit road bumps, and you got to take potty breaks. And sometimes you have to make U-turns, and sometimes there's no gas. But if you keep going and you know where you're going, you can get there. And you keep doing it over and over and over and over again for your team, for your dream teamers, and you never give up. You never, ever, ever give up. Telling someone what could and should be. Nothing, absolutely nothing will happen unless you're willing and able to paint a clear picture of the future. But here's the deal. As you make it clear, write the vision down, make it clear, so that he who reads it can run. Because where you know where you're going, you can run, even if you have to take a potty break. Thanks, everybody.